Start doing those like those storage war auctions.
Yeah, but I could just like stare and see base set cases.
I can see
probably
that
a huge waste of time, but
probably.
But
You'll find lockers with like old mattresses.
dough over there.
Goodness, you owe me big. How much am I getting paid for this?
$5 an hour.
Paid cash in Houston.
Dang it!
I'll give you a PokeRadar hat.
You have to collect. If it's not collected this weekend in Houston in person, it's forfeited. I called it on Poke Flips. I put a date to it. I forget what it was. I think I said a year from now. Nick will be running TikTok streams. I can see it.
I mean the entertainment coming from that stream. It's prime for TikTok.
That is true. There's
Nick's a free agent.
There's a ton of people in those some of those TikTok streams. It's wild.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, massive platform. There's so many people. There's way more eyes than eBay.
If eBay actually starts pumping the lives, there'll be more eyes.
Instead of keeping it as like the 5th tab at the top of only the app.
Yeah, exactly. They keep it hidden.
Yeah, it's pretty idiotic. They could do so much more. But
they really could. Hopefully it'll get out of beta testing at some point. And
it's just beta.
They'll get it started.
Welcome back to the PokeRadar podcast, episode 23. I'm almost halfway there for a whole year. I wonder if I'll last the whole year.
I believe
it's I did too at this point. This is obviously we got some returning guests. This is the first time though that we get to have a little group session. I'm excited. I mean, it's also like we could frame this in the way of it being the Poke Flips podcast special guests, but obviously we have Dan, Catch 'em All, we have Nick, old school Pokemon. What's going on, guys?
How we doing?
Good. I'm surprised you're awake still after that wonderful eBay stream, Nick.
Yes, I've gotten myself into a terrible schedule of staying up late and waking up late, and it's been going really well. But the eBay lives they do go very, very late sometimes. Normally a normal night is about midnight. On the weekends it goes until 2, sometimes 3 o'clock in the morning. But they're an absolute blast. But it has gotten me into a very, very rough schedule, staying up very late and not wanting to wake up in the morning.
Well, what do you have to wake up in the morning for?
Gotta package all my orders.
That's true. Yeah. That's the life of a streamer, I guess. But no, I was kind of watching it with Dan before you, while you were still live. I haven't stayed up to date at all with your stuff, and I am proud and shocked at how entertaining you are and how comfortable you are now doing those streams. I remember the first one you did to not watching any in between to the one tonight. I love it. You're a blast to watch. I foresee you being like, if not one of the biggest like Pokemon streamers on eBay. It's gonna be pretty cool.
I'm excited. I've been very surprised at how many people like to watch me rip packs. I never thought that would be part of it. I always thought it would be just auctions, and I thought it would be just auctions, maybe a little bit of pack ripping, but pack ripping is actually becoming quite a big part of the lives, and I have gotten a lot more comfortable with them. I do remember my first live stream. I was super, super nervous, just with everything. Was it going to go well? Was anyone going to come in? That was super nerve-wracking for me. Now I'm getting a lot more comfortable in there. Building up a good, like, I hate to use the C word, but community.
Oh, the C word. Didn't know where that was going. Building up a nice community. Very nice. All right.
Yes. Yep. So they've been a ton of fun. I'm really enjoying it. It's becoming a bigger and bigger part of my business, and I think it's going to continue to become a bigger and bigger part of my overall eBay business.
That's good. Are you selling all of Dan's stuff? Dan, are you able to move your modern
you won't
product?
Take stuff from me. I'm trying to move stuff to him. I'm like, hey, when are eBay live consignments coming in? I can fill out a few months worth of streams, and he won't take anything.
You got to be building up your allocation quite a bit with this, then, Nick, or is it not changing?
No, it actually is increasing, which is good. What I got, it went from Paldea. I work with 2 distributors. One distributor for Paldea sent me 36 boxes, and then my second sent me 90 boxes.
Ooh.
For Obsidian, I went to 96 with one, 36 with the other still. Yeah. And then with what's this next one? Paradox Rift. I went from 60 to my smaller one, and 120 with my bigger one.
Yeah,
so I think Paradox Rift does not seem like a good set, so I don't think many people wanted that.
I think people backed out. People backed out. I got my full allocation for the first time ever. Thankfully, I lowered it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That set's going to be sitting around for a long time, I think.
I'll be curious. I'm gonna do a mass opening of that set to grade some of the hits, and then I'm gonna sell a lot of it through. Hopefully, do a lot of rips through the lives. So I'm gonna be doing a dedicated Paradox Rift stream this coming Friday. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully that goes well.
Okay. Did you get hit with too much, Dan?
I got like 30 cases probably, so like 180 to 200 boxes. I took everything they allocated me. I'm not even at a point. I have 2 distributors, 2 different ones than Nick. I guess one is the same, one's different. I didn't have the ability to request a specific amount. My one rep actually did call me today, and he said, hey, this is the first time that if you want more now, you can get it. He didn't say how much. Yeah. I didn't want more, so I didn't go for it. But yeah, I have quite a bit. I had a pallet land. They left it at the road. My driveway is not ideal. You can't back up like a full semi. It was on a full semi. Thankfully, they had a lift gate, so we didn't have to like dismantle the pallet down at the road. But yeah, that was You're
gonna have to create some weird pulley system from the back, like through your trees up to your driveway.
A lawnmower with a trailer. System. A lawnmower with a trailer is the current. Okay. I disassemble the pallet onto the trailer, and then I just bring it up, and it works, but it's not ideal.
That works too. I mean, that you're probably happy about that. I just heard you spent $100,000 on boxes. Well, 40 or 50 on modern, and then the rest on vintage. But
S&P 500 was in there too. I included in my total. I needed to get the 6-figure total for the YouTube video, so I'm like, let me just buy up a bunch of Vanguard funds for my 401k.
And then you could write it off if you lose anything because it's in a YouTube video.
Yeah.
That was a very misleading title there, Mr. YouTuber over there.
He's got the clickbait down right. Although, Nick, you need to work on your thumbnails for your eBay stuff. Obviously it was Halloween and there was a tree, but I didn't know it was I didn't know it was you.
Yeah.
You got to make a old school Pokemon moon up in the sky, and
there you go.
There we go.
Put a cat in the tree, or an Umbreon in the tree as the cat or something.
There we go. We go. The Halloween stream didn't have the logo in there, but all my other ones, my normal streams have my logo in there.
Yeah, it's just the big logo, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's a bunch of it says like the day of the week, and then there's a bunch of pictures of cards, and my logo's in there. It says 99-cent auctions.
So what you did Whatnot? Now you're all eBay. Give me your thoughts. I mean, obviously eBay's still in beta. Whatnot's the most fleshed out live selling app there is. I'm at TikTok now, so I'm all about TikTok. But what are your like? Is eBay progressing? Is it getting better? Because I remember, I mean, even talking to you before and talking to others before, like it just was pretty slow. But I assume is it getting better?
Yeah, no, it is getting noticeably better. I do part of me does wish that it would grow quicker. But then another part of me thinks that it is nice to have that slow growth, so that way I can build the community aspect around it. So like I started off in the beginning. This is going back to mid May. Started off with 15 to 20 active viewers every stream, and it slowly increased from there. The fossil booster box break that I did back in the beginning of September, that really helped increase the number of active viewers that I get every night. Right now, during the week, I'll typically average about 50 viewers. And during the weekend, Friday and Saturday, I'll typically average probably 50 to 60 on Friday. And then Saturday is usually between 75 and 80.
Wow.
So it has been a noticeable increase, but it is still like very slow progress.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Dan, what are you doing lives?
I'm not doing any lives. I'm doing How
are you going to sell your modern boxes? Your 30 cases of Paradox Rift?
I've heard that I'm a modern Pokemon investor, so I guess I'm just going with the flow. Right. I'm listening to the people.
Right.
No, historically since 2014, 2015, since I've had distribution, I've always kind of bought it. I've always broken a little. I used to do a little bit of singles, a little bit of early grading of what I broke. I don't really do that anymore, but I'd always kind of wait. I'd always just sit on a couple cases and wait for them to be the right price to sell them. The right price. There was no set time. There was no set number. It was just kind of like a buy feel thing. Certain percent of cash flow, not too much that it like handicaps me elsewhere. I'm still able to buy collections. I'm still able to do my other stuff. But I'm kind of just sitting on them. Whether you call that investing or flipping or retailing or whatever.
Are you prepared to sit on it longer than everything else? I mean, I assume you sold all your Evolving Skies and everything from your original allocation. I know you bought more, but
yeah. One thing that I should have mentioned more thoroughly in that video, but I've been mentioning it periodically throughout PokeFlips, throughout my videos. I'm forced to sell a lot of my Ultra Modern. I had low 6 figures of Ultra Modern position at Troll and Toad. Theoretically, I mean, I could pay money to get that back, but I either have to sell it or I have to pay shipping to get it back. So Troll and Toad was kind of a cheat code all along. I was selling stuff at a slight premium, if not like a moderate premium to market. Through Troll and Toad, I was netting more on the same cases that I just rebought like last week. Like I rebought Brilliant Stars, I rebought some Astral, I rebought most of my Brilliant Stars. I sold in the 180s, 170s, 180s on Troll and Toad. The only exception, the only box that I know that I definitively bought back at significantly higher was Evolving Skies, and I only bought 1 case of that.
Yeah. I think I'm still sitting on 2 cases from the original print run. And then I have all those UPCs, but I want to keep them now that they might be loaded, like from Rusty's house.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm really curious about those. I wonder, I guess I should have asked them more about that. I wonder if they were from like the first print run or not. I don't even know what my UPCs are from because I bought them spread out and they're all mixed up now. So, yeah, that was, would it even be worth it to open up a bunch of loaded Evolving Skies packs?
If the hit rates,
I think it was worth it with what we pulled.
We pulled like 6. We pulled 6 Moonbreons, and we opened 300 or 400 packs. Yeah, definitely was very plus EV, but that was a lot of luck, I think, hitting so many Moonbreons. I don't know if that would be replicated.
I don't know. I think we hit. Well, what else is in that set? Oh, there's the Dragonite.
Rayquaza.
Pull the Dragonite. The Rayquaza. There's a couple of those. And then the other evolutions. I know we pulled a decent amount of those, but yeah, I guess there
All
was
mine were
a heavier.
rainbows. Yeah,
there was
the
a heavier
Moonbryons carried.
pull of the Moonbryon, and yep, my headset died again. I gotta get a new headset. I recorded with Jake yesterday. It died every like 10 minutes. I can't hear anything you guys are saying. But I'll just keep changing batteries until I can hear you guys. So all right, I'm back. Yeah. So okay, what about? Obviously, you're still on YouTube doing a lot of videos, Dan. Nick, you gave up. So we know what Dan's buying, what he's doing. Are you really just focused on the modern ripping right now because that's what's working, or are you doing a lot of other things? Like you're kind of stopping your singles, what you've been known for forever.
Yeah.
Is that the only shift that's happening, or are you doing other fun things that we don't know about?
That's really the only thing that stopped. Which that was a pretty drastic change. Gave up the whole 99-cent single thing. Focusing more on like $5 plus singles. Through the lives. Grading a lot more stuff that I normally wouldn't grade. Like I bought. I'm doing the PK play. Brought some of the Uno decks, the old maid decks. To grade those cards.
Is it still working?
Surprisingly, those do pretty well.
Right.
On the lives. I don't think you could do well with them through normal eBay. Right. And then like 151 reverse hollows, even like Japanese 151, just commons, uncommons, that type of stuff. I'm doing a lot more grading like that through CGC. Trying to grade some better stuff too, obviously. But trying to grade a lot more just because of how much more I'm selling every single night. I have a good amount of graded stuff that I bought at in Long Beach and Charlotte Collecticon, and then a few private deals that I did. So I have a good amount right now, but I do want to keep that consistent flow of graded cards coming through. And then just trying to focus on buying graded lots or not single lots as well. Yeah. So I am still buying a good bit of that type of stuff. And then modern is obviously becoming a lot bigger part of my sales. Might have to change my name to New School Pokemon at some point.
Are you going to be at Houston?
I am not. No, I originally wanted to go and just kind of hang out with you guys, walk around. I definitely wasn't going to vend, and so that was my plan, just to go hang out. And then it just got to be too busy with Paradox Rift releasing this weekend. I just figured I should stay home and stream that. And then I'm also doing a Team Rocket booster box break on Saturday.
Oh, that's right.
So that's just not going to happen, which is unfortunate. I'm already regretting not being there.
It's gonna be fun.
Know I'm going to hop on Instagram and see all these Instagram stories and completely regret not being there.
Yeah, it's going to be Chloe's 30th birthday. Dan and I are going to hang out. It's going to be fun. I don't know who else is going other than us and Chloe. And I think Dean will be there and Harry. But
Zach will be there.
Zach's going.
Hang
we
out
have
with
one
him,
section.
Of course.
One section of people are going. Ray's leading the section. There's a decent crew going.
Good. Yeah, you got I guess you did. You do that with Ray? That video? He was in your thumbnail.
He wasn't actually in the video at all. He was just in the thumbnail. I talked about him, but hopefully he'll be in the recap video. Hopefully, I never take clips though. I never want to pull out my phone, start recording, start taking pictures, and like pull myself out of the moment. I'm always on my return flights from a Collecticon, and I look through my camera roll, and it's like 3 pictures. One of them is a blurry picture of food or something at like midnight, and it's like I don't take any videos or photos. I'm terrible.
Yeah, I wish I was doing a better job about making videos on all these trips I take. I used to do it all the time. I don't know. I got tired of it or something. I liked living in the moment, not filming everything I was doing.
You gotta hire your wife to take pictures and videos of you guys.
Dan. It's a business expense. It's a write-off.
Yeah.
Then I mean, I'm sure you're already counting the ticket as a business expense because I believe she's a part owner or something.
She's the vice president, so vice president and part owner. So yeah.
Well, you can hire her to do the marketing and photography side as well. Take that off of the make your salary a little bit lower to help with taxes.
Yeah.
This is not professional tax advice. You're not listening to me. But all right, cool. Well, that'll be fun. Nick, we'll miss you. I know that you are one step closer to your theme deck collection. I saw recently.
Yes, I actually got that right here. I was showing it off on the live the other night.
It looks nice too.
Legendary collection. So you
Mint.
get four lava and 4 turmoil decks.
Wow,
very
those
nice.
are hard to come by.
That was a really, really exciting purchase. I knew what's Cole collects on Instagram. Yeah. I knew he had one, and we've been talking like sporadically back and forth for a very long time. I've known him for a long time.
Yeah, he's been on the Instagram world, the community, for a long time.
Yes.
I love. Yeah, he's got a cool Instagram. Yeah.
He has a very cool Instagram page. So he obviously knew that I was into collecting theme decks, and I knew that he had the LC theme deck display case. And so I would not constantly, but every couple months bug him and say, "Hey, you ready to sell that LC theme deck?"
For the last 10 years,
I'm gonna hold on to it. And then recently he finally reached out and said he's ready to sell it if I was willing to buy it, and I said absolutely. So it was a little tough coming up with the price point because you don't see them sell. I've been wanting one forever, and I just have not seen any sell. So we basically took the value of each individual deck, which came out to, we figured about 7,000 for all 8 decks. Oh. And then I figured between like 1,000 and 2,000 as a premium for a sealed deck. So 8,000 to 9,000 is what I was thinking. He said he was hoping to get 10,000. So I said, why don't we meet at 9? And he said okay to that. So I was able to scoop that up for 9,000.
I think that's a steal.
I think so. I think that was a good price. I was very happy to pay that, especially with how long I've been looking for one and how just none of them have popped up.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredibly niche and like you know what's in it. It's not like a booster box, but yeah, the availability of those less than the booster box of LC. So
for sure,
that's a pretty awesome goal to achieve right there. Does that leave you with one more?
Yeah.
What do you need? Skyridge?
Skyridge is the last one I need. Yep.
Mm-hmm. I don't know anyone that has that. Does Cole have one?
He does not have one. I know PokeRadar has one. Okay. He definitely won't be able to convince him to sell. And then Leonhardt has one as well. And
does he?
Definitely won't be able to convince him to sell.
Debatable. Maybe it'll end up on Rare Candy.
Find someone with a little lower income that has one, maybe, and then you might have more luck.
Yeah, there you go. All right, I'll do what I can now that I'm in Seattle or in Washington, the great state of Washington here, to find a sealed Skyridge theme deck for you, or theme deck case for you.
There we go.
I need to start stumbling upon some crazy collections and employee stuff out here if I can.
Yeah, start doing those like those storage war auctions.
Yeah.
Imagine just stumbling upon one of those.
Oh, and nobody knowing what it was, but I could just like stare and see base set cases. Yeah, that's actually, I might have to do that over the summer. That could be fun.
I could see that being a good time. I could see that being a good time for sure.
Probably a huge waste of time, but
probably. You'll find lockers of like old mattresses.
Yeah, I'll film it and purposely seed things in there like they do in the actual show. I'll take a safe and put it in there and fill it with graded Pokemon cards.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know if they did do one Pokemon from that show. There was a Pokemon find, just like a binder of random singles that they way overpriced, or maybe I think they way overpriced it. Typical.
They did. Yes.
Yeah. Well, what about it's Halloween the day we're recording on Halloween right now. Dan, we were kind of chatting about this, but how was your Halloween? Tell me, what did you dress up as?
I wore my Rangers jersey, so I'm actually wearing a Rangers t-shirt still. But the Rangers have been on a hot streak. They had 5 away games. They're 5-0 on their away their road trip. So very lazy dad costume.
Whose jersey are you repping?
Henrik Lundqvist, the Hank. Yeah, he former New York Ranger, not their current goaltender, but Vezina Trophy winning. Sadly, not a Stanley Cup winning goalie. But yeah, he was a monster. Halloween was great. At my son's school, my son and my wife's school, they had a little parade, K through 5, K through 6, well, pre-K through, actually. They just had like hundreds of parents lining the walkway out of the school. The kids all paraded around. I brought my daughter. She wore her little, she was a mermaid riding a seahorse. And that was a very popular costume theme this year. There was a lot of like aliens holding a human or like dinosaurs.
Those of those are hilarious.
Yeah, the big like inflatable ones. There were ones where the kid was piggybacking on the alien. Aliens were big, probably because of all the recent news that has gone on around that. But it was funny to see all the costumes. And yeah, we did that during the school day to end the school day. And then we did the normal thing, going around seeing a bunch of family. And then they did the typical door-to-door. We have to drive. We can't just walk down our road. I live in the woods. No one within. It would be like 3 miles probably to the closest little village. I don't even know if you'd call it that, where there might be trick-or-treating. We drove like 20 miles to my in-laws, and we trick-or-treated from there. But kids had a great time. The dad tax came through pretty well.
Nice.
I was able to...
nice.
It's a good way to teach your kid about taxes, right? I mean, I did all the transporting. I was pushing the wagon.
So fitting.
It's like they think they got all this candy, but hey, year end comes. I'm the IRS. Time to pay your taxes. Here's payroll.
I hope that's exactly how you phrase it to them too.
I called it the dad tax. I didn't get so in depth as to like, here's your payroll taxes, here's your FICA, here's this, here's that. But that'll come as they age.
What are you pulling? What candies are you pulling?
So here's the bag. My wife actually assembled it for me. She was the one. She was the one doing the actual physical division of the candy. But for me, the hits are Twix,
the hits,
Kit Kats, the chase cards, the hits, Reese's, peanut M&Ms, Snickers. Those are the ones that I'm after personally.
You didn't get any alternate arts like white chocolate, Kit Kat,
no alternate arts. We got a couple left Twix, a couple right Twix. I'm pretty split on those. I think they're both pretty solid. But yeah, no serialized, nothing too crazy. But good. It was very plus EV, I would say. Actually, in all reality, it probably wasn't plus. It was plus EV, not in chocolate, but in experience and memories and all that.
Yeah, of course. No, I did Halloween with my nephew last year. He was 3. It was a blast. Not completely in the woods. There's a neighborhood for him to walk around, and there were other, people trick or treating. So it was fun. But all right. I mean, I could expect a MetaZoo or like a Bigfoot costume or something from you.
I went lazy. I just threw on the jersey. I have to say though, I can't give out candy at my house because there's no one around. But I did bring a bunch of the boosters. I sent them with my son. He gave them out to his whole class. They were a big hit. I sent them with my wife. She gave them out to her whole class. Big hit there. And I gave them to my grandparents to hand out. I gave them to my in-laws to hand out too. And I heard a lot of positive feedback on, oh my God, like, I can't believe we got Pokemon cards, like so excited. And very, very good thing to hear.
That's
good thing
awesome
to hear that they're well received. Yeah.
Like when I was a kid, there were houses that were like, there was a big rumor, like a fable. Like there was the one big house over there would give you full bags of candy. You had to get there early before they ran out. Or like, actually, one place one year was handing out Jones soda, so we all went there to get some Jones soda. And then like obviously you're always going to the houses that have the big candy bars, but never had Pokemon back in the day. I wish that would have been pretty awesome. Getting some like Neo packs.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
The boosters that they did, it's a great product because it's, what is it, 50 packs for like $10. It's like the cost of a candy bar, little piece of candy or whatever. So it would be hard to justify $3, $4, $5 per pack to give out to kids, but you make that price point, true. It's a lot easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. All right. I mean, I did the lazy Halloween stuff when I was a kid. I was Michael Jordan a lot. Just wore a Michael Jordan jersey, or whoever I felt like getting a jersey of that year. That was my costume a lot when I was a kid. Never really did anything big back in the day. What about you, Nick? You should have been dressed up today for your eBay live stream. I was expecting you to be dressed up for this podcast episode.
I know that was people were very upset that I did not dress up. I should have planned it better and actually dressed up next year. Next year I will do that. Yeah. But no, I was Nick today. That was about it.
Yeah. Well, did you guys see PokeClo today?
I was actually, I saw you in the chat. I don't know if you just popped in real quick. I popped in for like 2 minutes. I saw her pull a Dark Dragonite, and I saw a couple messages from you in the chat. But yeah, she went all out.
Her it was like mesmerizing. Her eyes were super red, and like she was the Jigsaw from. Is that the name? Jigsaw from Saw. Yeah. It was really, really well done.
Nice.
Makes me want to dress up for Halloween's in the future, but we'll see. I don't know. I really should have planned a Halloween podcast. But maybe next year I'll do better with special episodes for holidays and all that.
There we go.
Be more fun. We'll do a PokeRadar costume contest. I'll have all my guests throughout the year come on and show off their costume for 5 minutes, and then we'll have someone will win a PSA 10 Bumblebee Pikachu. Because we all need more of those. Well, this is interesting though, Dan. Well, you didn't grow up in a house like this where you were like in the woods, right?
I did. I've never been.
Oh,
I actually. The only time I've ever lived somewhere that there might be trick-or-treaters, and I think actually that's a good metric. I never want to live anywhere where trick-or-treaters will go. Not because I hate trick-or-treaters, but just because I want to be so remote. I want there to be such space between houses that no one's going to come.
Okay, so you don't know what you're depriving your kids from with trick or treating.
I drive them
because you didn't.
I drive them to the best areas to go get the best candy. Right? You just look. You look at the map. Yeah. Within half an hour, you find the highest income areas or whatever, and you just go hit those.
There you go. Yeah. See, all right, you're doing it efficiently. That's smart. I mean, I think trick or treating is kind of dead these days anyway. They make you go in the daytime.
It
you
is.
Can't be out at night.
It is not what it used to be. I think it's one of those things that sadly the pandemic really.
I think that happened before the pandemic.
Well, it made a multi-year break in what was already like starting to fall apart, and then that just it's hard to rebound from that now, because I mean my son's 5, so unfortunately my daughter was born into that world. There was no time before that she knew, but my son, the first couple of years, like we went in the same areas, and there were a lot more lights on. Like when we went tonight, there was just a lot more gaps in between, walking by 8 houses in a row with their lights off, with the doors closed, with something taped across their steps because they don't want people coming up.
All right, maybe there's a little resurgence. You didn't get any knocks on your door, Nick?
We actually get a good bit. Yeah, there was actually a good bit of trick-or-treaters. It normally it starts at like 5:30, and then goes till 8-ish, and it kind of dies down around then.
Okay. Did you hand out stuff, or were you live on doing your selling?
No, I pushed my live back a half hour so I could be the one handing out candy. So
Nice.
we actually did full size candy bars this year.
Ooh.
And then I was doing the trick or trade packs as well. And
I was gonna say
those actually weren't a big hit for me. Everybody went for the candy. Nobody wanted the trick or trade packs.
Wow.
You just gotta give it to them. You gotta give them both. See, that's the thing. It's not an option.
I had the two bowls there, and I said you could take one of each. And I think there was like 2 kids who took a trick or trade pack.
Yikes! Well, Ken Golden had his big table outside of his house with a bunch of sports card packs and a bunch of candy, and it was 1 item per kid. So like they couldn't take candy and a pack, which I thought was kind of lame. It should be 1 of each. Come on. You can't be like, no candy for you, but you get a sports card pack. And it was all like 90s, 80s sports cards that no kid had any idea what they were.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was all like the dads being like, take the pack, take the pack. That's probably what it was. So, all right. Well, we'll have to do it's. I don't think anyone's ever really done much of a Pokemon themed Halloween event of any kind. This is also kind of like the dead time for trade shows. So maybe someone needs to throw on a Halloween event for all the Pokemon people one of these days. We have to get our own Legala over here in the U.S. at some point. Might as well do it in a fun way with a costume party.
Instead of it being black tie, yeah, it's just Pokemon costumes required.
Yeah.
Come on, costume.
That would be kind of weird. There would be if it was big enough, having so many Pokemon running around, that'd be a little weird.
Be a little weird for sure. Yeah.
So are you planning to bring some sealed packs, Dan, to CollectCon, or is that a dead project?
No, I actually do have I have Fossil and Base 2, which I might break. I'm bringing them sealed for now because I didn't pre-sell any. I kind of talked about having them, and I was seeing if there was any interest. Immediately, though, I talked about having a base unlimited box, and I talked about having heavy packs. I've pre-sold 10 heavy packs are gone. I have 2 heavy packs to bring, unspoken for. And I tried sourcing a secondary base unlimited box, and I couldn't find one at the right price.
Interesting. I miss those days. Just having I used to have loads and loads of packs. It just always get more and sell heavy packs. It was just like so much fun too, opening them for people, and I miss that day. I want to get back into doing that. Having a lot of packs is cool. I think it's a fun thing to have. Yeah, packs are fun. I still have a couple heavy first set base that I'm very, very deep into, but one of these days it'll go back up in price. I hope.
Your last opening made you a little bit deeper into them too.
Oh yeah, that was rough.
It's only up from there, hopefully.
You say that. I'm going to end up getting a Polyrath that's bent in half out of the pack. If that happened, I would drive over to WotC and be like, give me a new one right now. I know you have some in a cabinet somewhere. I need this fixed. I just spent $15,000 on this pack and got this. Fix it. So what else is going on? I'm running out of things to talk about at this point with my podcast. I got to get more creative. Maybe set up some segments of some kind.
Weekly's a lot. Weekly is tough.
Yeah.
That's why we started bi-weekly out of the gate, because I think we are fortnightly, because it gets tough. Yeah. Things come up in life too, and you're doing great though. I'm rooting for you. I hope you keep it going for years and years, but it really does get daunting when all the things you have going on, life stacks up. You got to do like 2 or 3 in a week so that you can fill the gaps, and you're doing great.
Yeah, no, it's gotten crazy. I mean, it's again, between the new job, the move, the other side stuff that's going on, trying to figure out how to pay for all my modern product because I can't sell things right now because it's all being moved, and I don't have the time. It's a lot, dude. I need to figure out a better game plan for all this. I might need some help selling product. I went to Z&G recently, did fantastic, very happy with the service. Obviously the stuff under $100 isn't the most efficient way to sell because of the fees associated with that, but still just a great, I mean, regardless of that, it's so easy. You ship them a box. It's like the awesome Ludkin's way of things back in the day. Just send them a box of stuff and it ends up in your hands graded. So
yep.
I don't know. Maybe I just, what's your consigning business looking like these days, Dan? Are you taking stuff in?
I'm pretty much exclusively doing the vault now. I truly think the eBay vault is going to make big waves in the space. It's very much like eBay Live, kind of like a slow rollout, very much in a beta phase. Yeah. It's actually free to sell on right now, no buyer's premium. 3% buyer's premium, as far as I understand, is what's going to start. They're saying 2024. I don't know if that's January 1st, 2024, or when exactly it is. I really need to find that out soon. But yeah, I sell anything above 250 that's single graded cards. I do anything eligible for the authenticity guarantee is eligible for the eBay vault, and I do a $25 minimum fee so that I don't get like inundated. So functionally it's a 10% fee if you send me something that's 250, but once you get to a $500 item value, it's fully like utilizing the 5% fee, right? And then I do have, I don't really advertise it, I don't push it too heavily, but I do have high level breaks. Like I actually have on consignment from Zach, Gem and Pokemon. I have his PSA 10 base first Charizard. I'm not taking 5% from that. That is a special negotiated rate, the lowest rate I'll probably ever negotiate for any card. But I knock a percent off when it hits 10K, and then between 10K and 230K, there's room for negotiation.
What's that listed at?
230 or best offer.
230. Okay. So yeah, I can't send stuff to you then if I have to do over 250. I gotta find somewhere to sell my cheap stuff. Well, Nick, are you? I know we talked about this in our pod when I had you on about the way you could do auctions on eBay and then transfer into like a live at the end of it. Have you tried that? Is that a doable thing?
No, I did try that after we recorded, and it's not possible to do that. You have to have them exclusively for the live, which is a little unfortunate. I did mention that to them too, that they should incorporate that, because I think that would be a really good idea. But right now it's just exclusive for the lives, which definitely hurts some items, but it's just there's no predicting what stuff is going to go for. You can run the same item one night and another night, and one night it goes really high, one night it goes really low. Like I know one particular card, I had a CGC Gem Mint 10 Gita SIR from Obsidian Flames. One night I sold that card for $24, and then maybe a week later I sold that card for $54. So it really just depends who's in the stream at that specific time.
What's low list? What's comps on eBay?
I actually have no idea. I have no idea on that one.
A Gita? How do you spell that? CGC 10.
Yep.
Gita. SIR?
GETA.
I could buy one right now for $40 with $5 shipping. That's what's listed. Selling for 37, 61. Yeah, they're all over the place. 36, 61, 37.
Auctions are inherently like very wide ranging, and I think live auctions just bring both extremes even wider.
Yeah, that's a good point. Gosh, what a weird, like you would think at this point, with how big the business is and how many people are involved and how efficient everyone's getting, that there would be more of a standard price on things like this, and people would be educated enough to not pay $30 more than one from yesterday. You know,
like a week, like eBay has millions of users, but how many are on searching those specific terms during that specific week? Then instead of taking millions over the span of a week, now you take 60 over the span of 30 seconds. Like, it's very obvious why the variance just spreads even wider.
Exactly.
I don't think that's ever like it. If you're talking like precious metals, I know eBay Live actually there are coin sellers, there are precious metal sellers. There you have like an intrinsic value. You have more of a like we talk about these floor prices in Pokemon, and it's not really too much of a thing. But in coins, in precious metals, there's actually an intrinsic value of the precious metal price, of the silver price, the gold price.
I mean, that's got to come with cards too, eventually, right? It's kind of already there for eBay. They have the pricing on the side. They have like price charts. Why aren't they incorporating that into the live auctions of a card or whatever for people to see on the spot, like last sold or average price of last sold?
I don't know about you guys. I don't know how much you interact with that, but like through the eBay vault, I can see the estimated value of everything I have in there. Some of them are close, and most of them are ones. Like I have 2 of them in the vault. One sold last week. They're literally using my own comp. Aside from that, they are really ugly. Like I have over $500,000 of cards in there, significantly over $500,000 of cards in there, counting my consignments, counting my own items. And I think my eBay vault shows that I have like $80,000 in there. It does not ascribe a value to Zach's Charizard. It does not ascribe a value to my number 1 or my number 3 Pikachu because they haven't sold in there.
Yeah.
So a lot of cards just don't have a single value.
They're only going based off of eBay sales.
And I think if you do that, I'm not an expert on this. I'm not a legal expert, whatever it may be. If eBay has a glitch of some kind, and if they have adjacent to an item, if they say that, hey, this item is recently trading for $5,000 and it's a glitch, it's some kind of an error, and someone bids based off that, and then they come to find out that that's only a $1,000 card or a $500 card, I feel like they'd open themselves up to some kind of a liability saying like, hey, this is what this card is worth, right next to, hey, bid on this item. You know what I'm saying? I could be wrong there.
That makes a lot of sense.
Auction houses are very open to just throwing numbers out there. We think this is going to go for this. A lot of the traditional auction houses do that, and I don't really know how they get away with it, but it's something that's always kind of been around in the hobby, I guess.
I mean, I think auction houses, Heritage and all that, they, at least the way that they are perceived and how they pitch themselves is that they are the experts in whatever field. So like Heritage has coin experts, art experts, real estate experts, whatever, to price that stuff accordingly. But that could so easily be manipulated and utilized for the wrong reasons. But I mean, obviously if they did that over time, people would understand that and the business would just die. So you would assume a company like Heritage is doing the best they can to make it real. But yeah, it is odd that they get away with that. I mean, that was something that I discussed at Rare Candy quite a bit when I was there. It was like, should we put estimated price points on these trophies that barely sell? Because in my opinion, a lot of that stuff's undersold that has been selling on there. Like, I mean, even recently, that PSA 10 Tropical Wind or a Tropical Mega Battle trophy sold for $81,000. PSA 10 number 2. Like, to me, that was a $125K card, easy. I could have found multiple bidders at that price privately. Even the Gyarados that I bought off of auction there for $58,000. Like, if you throw an estimated value on there for people who are less educated, but willing to trust an expert in the field, like, it would just help it out, I guess. But maybe that's bad.
It feels so weird because I remember like the Golden Touch, the special, right? One thing that they showed in that video was the triple logo man, which did so great. It sold for 2.34 whatever million it was. You and I and Nick, like, we all remember what they were saying that card was $6 to $8 million. I think they were saying 5 to 8.
Was it that high?
Somewhere in that vicinity. They were saying that
it was
card
somewhere in that range.
And I don't know, like, did the bidder bid 2.3? because they thought they were. I forget the exact number it went for. So I shouldn't put out exact specifics, but it went for like a fraction of what. And did it only go for that because someone wanted to get it at 40%? Someone wanted to get it at 50% value. Like, did a multi-hundred millionaire decide to bid 2.5 because they were told it was worth 5 to 8 or whatever it was? Like,
right.
It just feels weird. It feels really weird.
It is tough
at best.
Like one of the things that I looked at recently was the that anime cell, the Majin Vegeta anime cell that sold for like $60K or whatever. I don't know if you guys saw that, but like that stuff doesn't have solid price points in the market. There's not a lot of information on it, so I would look to somebody in my network that knows the stuff best and ask them what they think it's valued and go based off of that. So, I would also trust Heritage to put it at a value or be asking those people as well what they think the value of it is on the secondary market. So, I guess it's kind of a struggle both ways, but I guess
Look at the CBC 10 Illustrator that just sold. They were valuing that at 1.5 to 2 million, and it goes for it was like 450, 500,000, maybe 600.
When you're getting
way under what they valued it at.
When you're getting an opinion from someone who makes a commission based on a percentage of the sale price, that is as far as it gets from unbiased. Very dangerous territory.
That's a good point. I mean, I expected that Illustrator to hit a mill. I thought, they would stay strong, but I guess with the availability of them lately, that's probably what crushed it.
Mm-hmm.
And Golden still doesn't seem to be the greatest place to sell Pokemon cards. I would kind of think that would be doing better by now with their affiliation with Collectors Universe, with PSA and all that. But it doesn't seem like it's picked up at all. I don't know how you guys view that. I mean, obviously you're very bullish on the eBay vault, Dan, and that, taking over that side of things, killing potentially BWCC and PSA Golden Vault. Is that a competitor to eBay Vault, or is that does that serve a different purpose?
I think eBay already houses the vast majority of Pokemon transactions. The biggest thing they need to get under their belts is like more fleshed out shipping options for the vault. Like I would highly caution anyone to send to the eBay vault right now and auction like a PSA 10 base first Charizard, or auction like a trophy card, just because it's very weird. With international buyers can buy it, but I think only if they created their account through ebay.com, not through ebay.au or ebay.ca or whatever. Yeah. Or if they have to have an eBay vault, they have to have two-factor authentication. It can't be a PO box still, I don't think. PO boxes is something you're supposed to add soon, but like a lot of people use PO boxes, and a lot of people snipe too. One thing you got to be careful of is a lot of people snipe, and if they go to snipe and then their bid doesn't go through because they didn't have two-factor authentication, because they had a PO box in as their address, you could lose a lot of money. And 2 years ago, whenever that was, I remember that big trophy Pikachu. I don't remember if it was 1, 2, 3, 97 or 98, but I remember I think it was a SM consignment, right? Low 100K ish, like little over 100K, and there were multiple people that tried sniping last second, and their bids were failed because of whatever invisible eBay issues that showed up there. So
like the limits,
eBay has kinks to work out for sure, especially on the highest event stuff. But I think once the eBay vault is fully fleshed out, presuming it gets there, 3% buyer's premium. Compare that around to Heritage Golden, PWCC, like
to 25% now, like on that super high end. It's crazy that they're raising the rates on that stuff. Like they need to. It's shocking. Yep. At this point, you'd think they'd be going towards that 3% because of how competitive it is. What is going on with eBay's like international stuff. I mean, I've kind of stopped with the moving and everything that I've been doing. I've had this put my eBay on a complete standstill, but near the end of or the start of all that, I felt like the international shipping kind of changed. What happened with that?
Yeah, what was formerly global shipping program. So you used to take an item, you'd sell it to somebody international. You'd opt out of shipping directly international, but you would ship to a forwarder. I think it was out of Erlanger, Kentucky. So I was constantly shipping to Kentucky. They would forward it internationally. They'd handle all the customs. I'd just ship domestically as I would any other shipment, and eBay would handle the rest. They still do that, but it's out of like Illinois now. I think there's two places, Illinois and somewhere else. But it's called eBay International Shipping. For all intents and purposes, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just called differently. I think it has a lot of the same limits. I think that only goes up to $2,500. It might slightly vary by country. But yeah, it's great for someone who is nervous on sending international directly themselves, because eBay handles all the customs. They handle all the VAT, collecting and remitting all the import taxes and stuff. And it opens you up to buyers that you otherwise wouldn't have if you only ship domestic. So it's like a win-win for a seller who doesn't want to ship directly international.
Are you utilizing that, or are you shipping direct now?
I sell a bunch through that.
Yeah.
I don't do any international direct. Nice thing about, I actually don't fully know how it interacts, because most of my cards that are above 250 are in the eBay vault. So if you were to sell $1,000 card through international shipping, I'm assuming it would go through authenticity guarantee. That's a major thing that eBay has as well. For both buyers and sellers, I think it's a great thing. The authenticity guarantee is ridiculously undervalued, I think. You have eBay partnering with the grading companies themselves, and it is that whole meme about authenticating an authenticated slab already, like re-authentication. But I think that's important for platform confidence and buyer and seller confidence. I know that when I sell items on behalf of myself or my consigners through the eBay vault, that is final sale. eBay's already had it in their hands and verified it. There is no buyer's remorse. There is no slab was cracked. There's no this or that. I get it. They verify condition. They handle everything. That's massive.
It's
to be fair, when you sell through Golden or Heritage or PWCC, same thing. It's final sale. So to be fair to that, it's not like it's completely innovative, but it's innovative compared to what it used to be on eBay alone.
Right. Well, as final sales it can be. I mean, eBay collects a payment before you ship. The Heritage and them still have to collect payment, and people can still not pay, and they have to re-auction it. But yeah, we went through years and years of selling on eBay where it was just siding with the buyer constantly. I mean, there was a point where I think we were selling early enough where we were able to leave reviews for buyers, and they got rid of that. I don't know if it's still gone, if they brought it back or not.
Still gone.
But it was just like all about the buyer. And finally, once they started implementing this stuff, the 3 days for returns, the authenticity guarantee, like they're finally helping out the sellers. So those are huge, huge parts of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They need to that new international shipping. They need to figure out the combined shipping. That is definitely a pain. Not being able to offer any type of combined shipping. And then weirdly enough, 250 plus doesn't go through authentication with international shipments. It goes right to that Illinois place. So I don't know if maybe they authenticate it themselves there, or if they just don't care, since once we get the item to that place, that's the end of it for us. I don't understand that one. That one I don't understand why it doesn't go to authentication, then the fulfillment, then the buyer.
It's serving the same purpose, but just has a different label on it, right? Like, are they really going through every single card that's authenticity guaranteed to authenticate it? Like, they're just sending it to PSA or to CDC, and if they're just gonna okay, they're just playing middleman and creating that safety net, I think. I can't imagine there's too many cases of fake graded cards going through their hands. I don't know if you've seen anything like that on social media. Has anyone received a fake graded card after being authenticated?
I don't
I
believe
haven't
so.
seen anything.
Yeah. I mean, I think I've seen. Obviously, there's still like listings of fake graded cards on eBay. I don't know if anyone's attempted to buy them and see what happens.
We got a PSA 10 SSB up for auction right now, 99 cents.
Oh,
Guy found it in a storage unit. Has no idea what it is.
Wow!
I saw that in Discord.
So,
I think,
but
yeah.
if you win it for less than $250, you're screwed, though, right?
I would think so. Yeah.
Make sure you bid 300.
Still up.
Yeah.
Well, I need someone else to bid it up to 300. Is there have you guys ever talked with like an eBay rep about reporting listings, like fake listings?
I have not.
Not.
I wonder
in depth.
how much impact that actually has.
Yeah, I don't know the
I
process.
would imagine
that
it's
goes
gonna.
on.
I don't think one person reporting a listing will do anything. I imagine it's got to be like multiple people reporting the same listing.
Yeah.
For them to even look at it.
Is the shipping side of things different on live, Nick? Like the international availability and all that, or is it treated the exact same?
Nope, it's the same thing. Once an item sells through the live, it goes right into your sold page like a normal item would.
Okay.
Can international bid now? Because originally they couldn't, right?
It's open to some countries. Like I have a buyer in Canada who buys every once in a while. But I haven't had anyone from anywhere else. Or any other international buyers. And I think a lot of that is maybe restrictions, but then also the time that I'm live.
Mm-hmm. That makes
8
sense.
p.m. Eastern is not a good time for anyone else.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the shipping fees are ridiculous for
that
spending
too.
$5 on a pack or whatever, so it makes no sense.
$5 on a pack and $20 shipping.
Well, what else is going on? You guys got any big collection goals, Dan? You're still sitting on those trophies? When are you going to move them and buy something else?
I have one trophy left. It's so hard to justify. A lot of times when people come to me with higher end stuff, I mean, one, they're like wanting full market, and I'd have to essentially invest in the item to pay full market and hope the market price goes up. I'm not interested in tying up that much capital at this time. A lot of times when people come to me with high end slabs, hey, here's my consignment service, here's the details. I'll sell it on behalf of you for a 5% fee, and that's the route that I generally go with graded collections. I still buy raw collections and stuff, but at least for this school year, I'm very like foot off the gas. I'm on like cruise control throughout the school year while I'm with my daughter throughout the day. She's not yet in pre-K. Next year she will be. I'm working nights right now. I'm working like this is mid Dan shift right now. It's almost 1 a.m. right now as we're recording, and I work from like 4:30 p.m. I take a couple breaks for dinner time and bedtime with the kids, and then I'm working till like 2 a.m. a lot of times, and then I'm getting up at 8 a.m. with my daughter. Yeah, it's a tough school year.
I won't keep you up too late here then.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
That's full on dad mode. That's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you feel like sad at all that you're not interested in buying these cards for collection anymore? Or
I think
like losing that part of the chase, part of the.
See, I would love to own a Mew Orb, a Pika Ring, a Tropical Wind, a Master's Key, a lot of those like Japanese exclusive trophies that I've never owned before. All the English set stuff that were my original goals, I've opened every box. I've had every chase card essentially in PSA 9 condition. I've done all I came to do, all I originally set out to do. And at this point, it just doesn't feel right to tie up the capital, tie up the cash flow in items like that feel fairly speculative in nature. And the most to date that I've ever spent on a single card is like $10,000. $10,000-$12,000. Like, I've never spent more than that on a card, and it's just very hard to. Collection, I mean, if the right collection came along, I would drop $100K. I would drop $100K plus if the right collection came along, and I have. Well, the most valuable collection I've ever bought was like 60K. I guess there's actually one exception, a really weird situation with one of the full art trophy Pikachus that I sold, and then I bought the same exact one back for a lot less money. I don't want to get too into the details. I guess now that I think about it, that's the most expensive single card I've ever bought. That was a very strange exception. Aside from that, where I rented out a card for many tens of thousands of dollars for a few months, I've not paid over like $12K for a card. And it's just hard.
So what do you do for yourself now? Are you
like all this?
No hobbies, no.
All this stuff behind me. Like, I love all this. I buy all the sitting cuties. I buy a bunch of the canvases, and I open every set. I open a box of every set with my kids. It's one of my favorite ways of interacting in the hobby. Still, I go to conventions. I go to I'm still having a great time with all this stuff. It still hits all the dopamine, all the nostalgia buttons. It does all that stuff still. I just can't justify, like, the market values almost wholesale everything more than me at this point. At this point in my life, maybe Pokemon and life will continue being kind to me. Maybe 5-10 years from now, I revert back to Collector Boy Dan, starry-eyed Collector Boy Dan, and maybe I start doing it all again. But as of right now, I'm just not at that point. Young children, new business. It's hard to justify tying up all that capital. So that's where I'm at right now.
Is that how you feel about your theme deck collection, Nick? Is it getting too big?
Nope,
to justify what it's worth? I wonder what your answer will be once you get the Skyridge box. You're like, I'm over it now. I've got it. It's time to sell.
No, I've dialed things back a lot. I've sold off a lot of my personal collection, my binder sets, most of my graded cards. I had the Poncho Pikachu boxes. I sold all those off. And I kind of sold off a lot of stuff and focused on what I truly enjoyed. And that was theme decks, booster packs, and No Damage Ninetales. So outside of those three, I really don't buy stuff for my collection anymore. With the booster packs, I'm down to, I just need to keep up with the modern sets. So that's not spending any money. With the No Damage Ninetales, I bought my 50th copy. Woohoo! So I'm done with. I don't think I'm not gonna buy any more of those. 50, nice round number. I'm good with that. And then the only other thing I need is the Skyridge theme deck. Maybe the red logo variants. I noticed Rusty had the fossil up. That's been tempting me. Maybe one day, not today, but yeah. So I think I'm pretty much done spending money for now with the collection. It's just maintaining the modern stuff.
Yeah. Gosh, we're all selling out. Our collecting days are over.
Hey man,
we're so young.
You set out to climb Everest. You hit the peak. You snap a couple selfies, and then you turn around and head on to the next summit. Right? You don't just.
I keep finding taller and taller mountains. I don't know about you.
I did most. I did everything I set out to do. I added some. I did most of that, and we'll see where it takes me from here. But I'm happy with what I've done so far.
Yeah, I think I'm finally ready to buy a house. Like, it's time. I'm moving stuff. I'm getting ready to actually buy some property, grow up a little bit, do what I've wanted to do for. I've been saying this for 5 years. Finally,
you saved up many down payments, right? Many separate times.
Many. I mean, now I don't have any down payment at all, so it's rebuilding it. But yeah, I think it's time. I'm finally like in that place where I'm ready. So the collecting journey has been so much fun. I still have that crazy bug of wanting to open stuff and buy certain things. And I just come to the realization it's just not possible. It's just not sustainable. It's so dumb. So
Yeah, you never can actually catch them all. It's unreasonable. I think it's crazy what like Gem Mint Pokemon has done. It's crazy what Dave Person is doing. Like Dave Person, especially like with all the sets. He's not getting into the grading side of it, but like all the trophies, all the niche stamp things, and all that's that's too much for me.
Well,
I don't have the
Dave
space.
Is so successful.
I don't have the capital.
I mean, Dave being so successful outside of the hobby, like that's the goal for me now. I need to figure out a way to get successful outside of the hobby in order to truly enjoy it. Because I'm not, I don't know. I don't feel like, yeah. I mean, I love what I'm doing with working at TikTok and all that. You know, kind of taking that path. And I mean, I also loved working for myself and doing my own thing, but I just don't feel like I was cut out for buying and selling cards every day. It was too much.
It does take a lot. It is nice to have the structure of like a 9-to-5 type job.
The biggest thing for me, actually, Nick, I'm curious. I know Dan has no interest, but hiring people, I couldn't get over the bridge of truly sitting down and looking to hire people to help out, because I just trusting someone to do things a different way, not my way, thefts, whatever. Like I couldn't get over that hump, and I think that was the big killer for me wanting to do a card business. You know, I don't know what you're at. I don't know if you think about hiring people, Nick, but
I felt the same way as you. I am very particular about everything. I went the longest time without hiring anyone, not wanting to hire anyone, just because I like things done a very certain way. But then with the eBay Live, I finally realized I can't do this anymore. I can't keep up with everything. It's physically not possible. Before the eBay Live, it was very, very tough, but it was possible. Once the eBay Live started, that's what kind of broke the thread. And so over the summer doing the eBay Lives, I had a friend's son helping me, just kind of opening modern products, sorting cards, all that stuff. He worked out really, really well. So then it kind of a light bulb went off and said, okay, I can get help. I can have someone help me out. And so, just recently, maybe a couple months ago, month or two ago, I actually brought on someone remote, Walrus Tank, and he helps me a good bit. He does all of my eBay store listings. He'll create the listing, research the pricing, all that stuff. I send him all of the cards that I open from my modern product. He'll pre-grade all that stuff, send them off to CGC, PSA. He does all my thumbnails for the eBay Lives. He creates all those actual good edited clips for Instagram. So basically, as much as he can get done remotely, because obviously he doesn't live anywhere near me. So that's working out really, really well. And it's something that I can't do my eBay store and these lives together.
Right. It's two separate businesses.
Not possible. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess shots fired at Walrus about the thumbnail. Figure it out, dude.
You got to come up with a salary.
You're halfway there.
You got to come up with a number to entice him to become local to you.
Ooh.
Or
he's international, isn't he?
That is true.
No, he's Chicago area, I believe, right?
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Or, I mean, depending on where you're at in your house hunting search, I mean, you could become local to him too.
New York's about halfway between where I live now and where he lives. That would be too far.
I can start sending you Zillow listings.
Start? You mean restart?
Yeah, restart.
Just build a house for him.
I will say though,
Rusty.
On the whole employee front, it's something that the main reasons, like a lot of what I do is centered out of my house. One of my big hurdles is bringing someone in. Well, one, it's a hurdle logistically, geographically, because of where I live, finding talent within. And then two, it's like a mental hurdle, whatever hurdle. I just don't want someone in my home. But there are a lot of, I don't even know if creative's the right word, but there's a lot of ways to have a lot of external labor, like Troll and Toad Evo. I had no employees this year, technically, on paper, but I had a company that fulfilled 100,000 plus orders for me. I had a company that sold over $500,000 worth of product for me. There are creative ways, there are alternate ways to do a lot of business, to move a lot of product without having a W-2 employee physically residing in the same building as you. So alternative means of having more work done, alternative means of scaling the amount of product I can source and sell. That's actually a big focus for me this winter. While I'm kind of like doing the stay-at-home dad thing with my daughter during the day, in the background on the computer when she's eating meals or watching TV, whatever, like I try to do some stuff in between. I'm working on that. I have some things in the works potentially. Sadly, nothing will ever be Troll and Toad Evo, I don't think, but I definitely have some more things in the work to expand what I'm able to do. And I periodically I have familial help. My wife is currently on payroll. As they age into 6 years old, my kids will both join the payroll. So I do have a little bit of external labor, kind of like Rusty. You mentioned Rusty a minute ago, and he has some familial help too.
Right. Yeah. No, I keep complaining about needing help with YouTube stuff, and a lot of people have been reaching out to help out. I just haven't had a moment to sit down and like draw out what actually needs to get done and how to get it done. So yeah, I need help with my stuff too. It's, even though I'm not doing the card stuff anymore, I just need help like with all the tedious uploading and clipping, and
there's a lot to it. Yeah.
Especially with like where I want to take the podcast. Like it's kind of stagnant right now because I'm not doing all the extras. I need to do the extras in order for it to grow. I need shorts to go viral. I need, like, I mean, I had that one clip of Nick hit like 25K on Instagram, and that helped out a ton for the initial launch of the podcast. So having that stuff is so important for this to grow. But I need help. I also have no idea what to pay anybody for something like that too. It's like I need a personal assistant, but I have no idea how much that, and how much I can afford either. I got to figure out my budget now because it's all out of whack at the moment.
Yeah.
So, it's a tough thing. I got to get over the mental hurdle still. I don't have to deal with the, safety of family. Obviously, that's a big thing, having someone come into your home, but safety of my cards, my collection, my bookshelf of random stuff. So it's I need to get over that hurdle like ASAP. I need help. I'm starting to crack. I can feel it.
It is definitely a big relief. And it does take a lot of stress off yourself.
Yeah. Well, I need to find that good person, and I will. I'll respond to some messages this weekend, maybe, or Collecticon. Probably not. Maybe over Christmas time when I'm not doing anything.
Kick the can down the road.
So, yeah. I need to find every excuse I can.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's getting late for you guys. I don't want to. It's getting late for me too. I'm an old man. I'm tired, but I think that was fantastic. Thank you guys for hopping on. It's always a pleasure talking with you guys, and this is the first group podcast. Hopefully I can do some more of these. Keep tying you guys in, get different people involved, different conversations. It'll be a lot of fun. So we'll have to get those going. But yeah, Nick, keep up the the lives. I actually really enjoyed watching it. The energy is fantastic. I don't think anyone can compete with that and the Pokemon side of things on eBay, at least from what I see. So,
well, thank you. I appreciate that. And definitely going to keep things up with that.
And Dan, Mr. Consistent, just keep on doing everything you're doing.
Every Monday, 1
I'll
p.m.
see you.
Eastern, that YouTube's going to be there, and few collecticons. I'm really excited for Houston, and
Yep.
Mr. Historically Inconsistent, please keep up the consistency. 23 weeks in, I feel that you're going to blow past 52 episodes. You're going to blow past a year. I think this is going to be the one. It's been great. I very much appreciate having been on a couple times now. Honored to be the first duo episode here. Hopefully everyone enjoyed. But yeah, I'm excited for all of us. I'm excited to see where we all end up, and glad to be able to call you guys friends and be a part of your journeys and all this.
What a way to end it. Thank you. That was beautiful. All right. Well, we'll see. I'll see you, Dan, in a couple days from recording this, and
yep. Nick,
hopefully I'll see you again soon. But yeah. Have a Halloween's over, but have a great Halloween, and we'll talk soon.